Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the March edition of the Town of Kent Zoning Board of Appeals. Before we begin, please stand and join me in pledging allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. As I often remind myself, if any, please silence your cell phones.
Silence sheet.
Well, I'd be the one to get the phone call.
I know.
Okay, first application up is that of Julia Vishnopolsky. Did I do a good job at that?
Pretty good. Understand that more of these, I'd like to distribute these so you can follow along with me.
Thanks, sir.
Did you sign in? Can't talk to you till you sign in.
Okay.
Great, so please, tell us why you're here this evening.
Okay, I represent Julia Vishnopolsky. She purchased a piece of property in the town of Kent to make it her home, weekend and summertime. She lives in New York City and she wants to get out of New York City. We are requesting two variances, a use variance. We require 10,000 square feet and the house has 8,000 square feet. And an area variance, the lot width requires 100 and we have 80. The proposed house complies with all yard setbacks, front, rear, and side. In and around 2019, the house burned down. In October of 2019, town ordered the house taken down. Final inspection was to confirm the house was taken down. It was in October of 2019. Julia purchased the property on June 17, 2022. The time period to rebuild the house without a variance had expired. And she was given the impression that the variance was a formality. Whether that was correct or not, okay. We were told by the building department, or she was told by the building department, to hire an engineer to gain health department approval of the septic system and well. And we were told the house could be no bigger than the existing house, which was 20 feet by 30 feet, and a one-bedroom house. Subsequently, September 23rd, 2022, Health Department approval was granted for the well and the septic system. And she installed the well and septic system in October of 2022 in accordance with the approved Health Department plans. Bill, subsequent to that, allowed her to place a shed on the property so she could come up there and work on the property. She was big into clearing brush and straightening out the property so she could live there. We had a zoning consultant go over this situation, and he told us that due to the foreclosure, it would be fair that the timetable to rebuild the house should start from the time of her purchasing the property. And the application and approval of the health department permit and the installation of the well and septic were all within the 18 months that she plans to rebuild this house. The house is a 20 by 30 foot house, a 1-bedroom house. And we put together a list of properties in the area to show that the house that she is proposing to build is compatible with the area, the houses in the vicinity of the property. Her property is 8,000 square feet. There are 4 properties that are 8,000 square feet. 2 properties are 4,000 square feet, and there's a 10,000 and 12,000 square foot property. And we hope that you would grant this variance so she can live her dream and move up here to town of Kent.
Thank you. The property was purchased in 2022, correct?
Yes.
Obviously, the appropriate approvals have been secured. The well and the septic have gone through a revision since then? Or the well or septic?
Well, the well, the well was a dug well, junk. The septic system was also just an old septic system. It was a pit with a metal tank. And the health department approval provided for a drilled well and provided for a code-compliant septic system for a 1-bedroom house.
Has that work been done yet?
That work has been done. She put the septic system in, and she had the well drilled. And she was trying to finalize the house plans to make it something that she likes, and that's why it took a little bit longer, and since the time that she put the septic and well in.
Yeah, I don't know why she would have put the proverbial cart before the horse, this, because, she sort of worked her way into, the client has worked their way into a corner here. I typically do not favor approving lots of this size and this scope. I'm going to open it up to my fellow board members for commentary.
Well, I'll just say you've referenced other lots here, obviously, Lake Carmel being as it was a very small bungalow community when these houses were built on the smallest lots, and it was allowed. We have a lot of what we call substandard lots now. And, I don't want to be the one to set precedents now and say, oh, we can build on less than the required 5 lots. I know that your client was familiar with this before she bought it. She was advised that it was a substandard, which is why she paid so little for it.
Correct.
At the time. So, and again, I share the chairman's surprise that she went through the expense of putting in a well and a septic system. It's one thing to be advised to seek Board of Health approval, just to see, could it be done? But then to go the extra expense and actually put it in, I mean, that's, I'm just a little surprised. We're in a tough spot. The 2-year limit passed, which would have been, I know in some instances allowable to be rebuilt. That passed. It's a new owner. It's not even the same owner, for example, whose house burned down. I'm not in favor of approving a substandard lot. I just think it sets a precedence that I don't want to get into, being fair to other people that then could go and buy, these substandard lots in Lake Carmel and have the same expectation.
The fact is, there was an existing house there. It's not there's a lot of substandard lots in Lake Carmel that are vacant, and the health department would not approve a substandard lot unless it can meet totally with the requirements of the health department. In this case, they're allowed to put in a septic and well. The distance from the septic to the well is less than 100 feet, but the health department approved it as a pre-existing structure. You know,
Understood. That was the only statement I had. Anybody else?
Anyone else? Okay, do you have anything else?
no, I don't.
Okay. I'm
Are
going to...
there any neighbors here?
Is there anyone here to speak on behalf? Please come on up, sir.
Sorry, I put my notes.
Please sign in as well, if you would, thank you. And then just let us know who you are as relation to the property.
Mr. Chairman, just a point of interest, that house did not burn down in a fire. There was a tree that fell through the house and destroyed the house. It did not burn.
Several trees fell through the house. I'm Mike Silvers. I'm the owner of 75 Clubhouse right next door.
Okay.
Several trees hit the house, ripped off the whole back of the house, and we called several times because animals had moved into the house. They were coming onto my property, coming after my dog, and I was like, I've had enough. So finally the town came, and because the owner had been deceased prior to that tornado ripping through and knocking everything over.
Gotcha.
So that's what had happened. There was no owner of the house. He had died. He had moved to a nursing home and passed away. So
And what are your thoughts?
I'm going to pull up my notes. Sorry. My interactions with, what's her name again? I'm sorry, Miss Vish, the owner of the home?
I'm sorry?
Miss Vishnapolsky, has not been very neighborly. When she first purchased the property, she pointed at a tree stump that I had from a white ash that I had cut down that was diseased. It was the last large tree on the property, and I didn't want it falling, so I had it taken down. And she pointed at it and said she wanted me to grind it up because she didn't want termites in her house. What house? Since then, she's done lots of work to the property. I've called the building department a couple of times to complain because there's been machines there prior to 7 o'clock in the morning or after 5 o'clock at night, before 8 o'clock in the morning on the weekends and Sunday. They said, you know, when she gets work done, she gets work done, you know, as long as she doesn't disturb more than 5,000 square feet of land. The entire property has been leveled. So that's 8,000 square feet has been done, all without permit. She had a tree in November, early November, prior to the septic and the well going in. She had a tree, guys come over, clearing brush. And on the property line, I had a row of, I don't know the name of the bushes, but like they kind of like sprout and go in all different directions. She didn't just cut the ones that were hang over her side. They went over and cut the ones on my side of the property. Several feet into the property, which is clearly marked the line. They had it done, and I had it went and looked at. Had a guy go up in a ladder in a tree and start cutting branches off my maple. And, you know, when I confronted her about it, she was very nasty to me. She was yelling how nobody in the community likes me, and she's been warned about me. I'm like, everyone around here, I was like, I've been here for 5 years. I have everyone's phone number. I'm cool with everyone. I don't know what you're talking about. Started pointing behind the house towards Halmich, saying that my fields stink and they're no good and it smells like crap on her property, pointing in the complete opposite direction of where my fields are. Like trying to just start something. And it's not very neighborly. And I did contact him about maybe rectifying the situation. I was supposed to be called this weekend, maybe discuss it. We weren't called. And my wife honestly does not want the noise through the summer of someone building a house on a lot so close to ours. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else present who would like to speak regarding this application? Okay, that said, do I have a motion to approve this application? Do I have a motion to deny this application?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Okay, next application up is Edward Coyle, 36 Woodland Drive.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Mr. Coyle.
So I have the cards. You want?
take those.
4 to 5 I have. Turn back.
Okay.
So tell us why you're here this evening, Mr. Coyle.
For a variance for a pool, in-ground pool.
Okay, as you know, members of the board have been out to your residence, took a look at it. I don't have an issue with this application. I'll open it up for commentary from my fellow board members.
I don't have an issue with this application.
Anyone else? Okay, do I have a motion to approve this application?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, sir. You can follow up with the building department.
Great. Thanks, guys. Have a good
got it.
night.
Have a good night.
Next up on the agenda
Oh, that's not
is
you.
an application by Will Knapp for Nichols Place.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Knapp, why don't you tell us why you're here this evening?
I'm requesting a variance, a 15-foot variance for a pre-existing shed.
Okay, I've had an opportunity to review your application and your other submissions, and I don't have an issue with this. I'll open it up to my fellow board members.
No, I saw it. It has sufficient room from the border. I don't see any issue.
Any other commentary before I make a motion?
No.
That's your motion. All right, do I have a motion to approve this application?
I'll approve it.
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Coyle. You can follow up with the building
Great,
department.
thank you.
Mr. Knapp.
Mr. Knapp, I'm sorry. Okay. Next up is Mr. Mario
Gualazaka.
Gualasaka. Did I get that right? Yep. Almost, close enough?
Very close. you.
Hi, sir, so why don't you explain to us why you're here this evening?
I'm here to apply the veterans permit for to build a little deck on the front of my house.
Okay, so you're requesting a 3-foot side variance for a deck?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes.
This is the one where he's balancing out the other side. It still leaves the 6 foot here.
He still has an issue.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, after a review of your submissions, I don't find issue with this application. I'll open it up to my fellow board members.
Yeah, I have no issue with this at all.
Yeah, I had no issue.
Okay, with that in mind, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
We all good?
Yeah, you can see the building department get started.
Okay, so
Tomorrow.
tomorrow? I'll stop by tomorrow morning.
You mean you can't go over there now?
I'd go there in 10 minutes.
I need to bring anything tomorrow? I'm sorry.
Say again?
Did I need to bring anything tomorrow? All this paperwork?
I believe we have all your paperwork. We'll look at it tomorrow, and if there's anything, my clerk will get a hold of you.
Okay, I'll stop by tomorrow then.
Very good.
Thank you very much, guys.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
Good luck in your deck.
All right, next up is Emma
Mogrovejo.
Mogrovejo and Luis Alvarado. Alvarado, okay. He should have green cards. So why don't you tell us why you're here this evening, sir?
I'm request for building a shed in my house. In the beginning, when I bought the house in 2016, it was an existing shed. It was 8 by 8, but with the first storm, it knocked out the whole shed, so I don't have it. So I'm sort of filling up my stuff in the basement, but my basement is full. And my wife says you have to build something.
Oh, I feel your pain there.
Yeah, but now I'm gonna do a little bigger.
Okay, I see that.
Okay, we've had a chance to review your application and associated paperwork, and I don't find an issue with this. I'll open it up to my fellow board members for any commentary before requesting a motion.
Yeah, I just want to make note, you've indicated that you're going to maintain a 2-foot from the property line.
Yep.
And I just want to make sure that you adhere to that, okay? Because that's like the very minimum that we like to see. So as long as,
2
just
foot?
maintain that, what you
Yeah.
have indicated on
Oh,
your map.
I can move maybe 3 foot.
No,
from the line. That's
you're
fine.
fine with the 2, I just didn't want you to
Yeah.
go closer to the border,
Okay.
okay?
Yep.
That was the only concern I had.
Great. With that, do I have a motion to approve this application?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You can follow up with the building department.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's
Take
it.
care.
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
anytime after 8 o'clock.
Okay. All right.
Have a good night.
Guys. Have a good
Good
night.
night.
I noted that stipulation on it. Okay, and what appears to be last but not least, Rosemary Rudowich. Hello.
Oh, thank you.
I'm also looking to put a shed in. I'm asking to decrease the distance from the property line on one side.
Yeah, she's got,
That's this one, right?
yeah, and she's got 5 feet here.
So is she, okay. So the shed is already there,
Yeah,
and you just move it, she's moving it closer to the,
yeah.
No, the shed's not installed yet.
it is not?
No.
Okay. You threw me with the way you said you're looking to move it closer. The variance is, I got you. Because it says on here, you want a 10-foot variance for best location.
Yes.
So my first question is, why is it the best location?
Okay. I can tell you. It's the only place. My yard is all sloping, so
Okay.
there's nowhere level.
Okay.
And if I use that particular spot on the driveway, it leaves the rest of the driveway available for my husband to park his car, easier for him in and out.
Sounds completely reasonable to me. All right.
Okay, I have no issues with this application. Any other board member have any commentary?
No, I think that last statement cleared it up.
With that, do I have a motion to approve this application?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you. You can
Thank
follow
you
up
very
with the
much,
building
guys.
department.
Have a great night.
Tomorrow after 8 a.m.
A line outside Bill's office.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Have a nice
You as
night.
well.
All right, are there any other issues before the board, before we proceed to close?
The minutes.
No, you guys just have to approve the minutes for the record.
Okay. All right, I assume everyone's had an opportunity to review the February minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the February minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ex- Minutes approved. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
We both seconded. I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
See you in April.